Hello there. Welcome to today's class. Today you'll be learning about the figures of speech called irony and hyperbole. And by the end of this class, you should be able to identify irony and hyperbole in sentences. Make correct sentences using irony and hyperbole. Are there times when you want someone to feel exactly how you're feeling? This could be when you want to write or speak in such a way that your listeners or readers get the exact picture of how you imagine things in your mind. Well, in situations like that, talking or writing in simple language is not enough. You will have to write or speak in a way that makes your message clearer and more relatable. This is why you need to learn about figures of speech. Now, figures of speech are words or phrases which have a special meaning aside from their literal meaning and are used to create the desired effect on readers or listeners. There are several types of figures of speech, some of which I know you've already learned about in previous classes. In this lesson, however, we shall be talking about two important figures of speech, which are irony and hyperbole. Now let's look at each in detail. Irony is a figure of speech that uses words or expressions to suggest the opposite of their normal meaning or expectation. This is usually done for fun, humor, or sarcasm. Let us look at some examples of irony in some sentences. Sentence 1. Moses is so intelligent that he failed his exams. Can you see the irony in that sentence? How can Moses be said to be intelligent if he failed his exams? Not possible, right? Well, that is irony. It suggests the opposite of a situation in a humorous way. Another example of irony is Sentence 2. Jennifer will win the spelling competition. She doesn't know the alphabet. You can see the irony in that, right? How can someone who doesn't even know the alphabet win a spelling competition? We all know that is not possible, and that is why the sentence is an irony. Aren't ironies fun? Now, the next figure of speech we'll look at is hyperbole. Have you ever been so full from eating dinner that you told your mom you would never eat in your life again? You still ate the very next day, didn't you? Well, that statement of you never eating again is actually a hyperbole. A hyperbole is a figure of speech that uses words or phrases to express deliberate exaggerations of situations or things. Let's look at some examples of hyperbole in some sentences. Sentence 1. Simbi's school bag is so big, 5 elephants can fit in. Do you see the hyperbole in that sentence? Though Simbi's school bag might be truly big, we know it is not big enough to hold 5 elephants. Therefore, it is an exaggeration, which is hyperbole. Another example of hyperbole is Sentence 2. My father is so tall, he can see China from Ibadan. Can you see the hyperbole in that? We know his father might be tall, but no one can be so tall that he can see China from Ibadan, and that is just hyperbole. Keep in mind that hyperbole does sometimes sound like lies, but it's just a figure of speech, and make sure you explain it to people around you who may not know it before you use it with them. Now let's look at a short passage and see if you can recognize the figures of speech in it. Musa is 7 years old. He likes to play and is most times so dirty that he won the award for the neatest student in class last year. He doesn't care though, as he gets to play 24 hours a day. Can you identify the figures of speech in that passage? Well, We know Musa can't have won the award for the neatest student if he is known to be very dirty. Therefore, that is an irony. Also, we know Musa cannot play 24 hours a day, as he needs to sleep and even eat too. So that is a hyperbole. Well, that brings us to the end of our lesson on irony and hyperbole as figures of speech, and how to identify and make sentences with them. Which figure of speech is your favorite? See you all in the next lesson.